why men and women are more fertile in summer, understand the effects of daylight saving time on hormones and fertility. Find out if your hormone levels are balanced for your age and discover all the benefits the sun brings to your body. Subscribe to our channel. For every 500 subscribers, we donate a basket of seasonal fruits to a family in need. We'll show everything right here. Subscribe now and join this chain of kindness. Welcome to our channel. You've probably heard that men and women are more fertile in summer. But have you ever stopped to wonder why that happens? Today, we're going to understand the effects of daylight saving time on hormones and fertility, both in men and women. It may sound like a simple curiosity, but there's a much deeper connection between sunlight, the human body, and the act of creating life. I want to invite you to look at daylight saving time in a completely different way, not just as that period when we move our clocks forward and complain about lost sleep, but as a time that reveals a lot about our biology, our hormones, and even our fertility. Did you know that many of the most famous pairs of twins were conceived during the summer or late spring, when the days are longer and sunlight is at its peak? Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, for example, were born in June, which means they were probably conceived in September, still under the influence of intense summer light. Tia and Tamara Mowry were born in July. Identical twins also conceived during the warm and sunny months. And the Brazilian twins Gisele and Patricia Bunchen were born in July too, which points to a conception right in the height of our tropical summer. Coincidence? Maybe. But what if the human body really is more fertile at certain times of the year? What if sunlight, so abundant during daylight saving time, has the power not only to lift our mood and energy, but also to awaken our ability to create new life? When days are longer, we wake up earlier, go to bed later, and feel like time is more productive. But biologically, what's happening? Our bodies receive more sunlight, and that completely changes the balance of two fundamental hormones, melatonin and serotonin. Melatonin is the hormone of sleep, of night, of darkness. It tells the body it's time to rest. Serotonin, on the other hand, is the hormone of daylight, energy, and happiness. When we get more sunlight, serotonin levels rise, meaning we feel more energetic, more social, and yes, more open to intimacy and reproduction. Studies published in journals such as the Journal of Biological Rhythms show that prolonged exposure to natural light directly regulates the half-day hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, the system responsible for releasing sex hormones. When this axis is more active, ovulation in women becomes more efficient, and sperm production in men increases. Sunlight also boosts vitamin D, which acts as a natural steroid hormone. According to the Endocrine Society, proper vitamin D levels increase testosterone in men and improve ovulation and uterine receptivity in women. That's why, naturally, the body becomes more fertile during months of stronger sunlight. Now think about ancient civilizations. They didn't have microscopes or labs, but they observed nature with care and wisdom. They noticed that periods of greater sunlight coincided with the Earth's most fertile times, when crops grew and animals reproduced more often. In Egypt, the goddesses Isis and Hathor were celebrated during the season as symbols of motherhood and life. In Greece, the festival of Demeter honored the goddess of harvest and fertility. Among the Celts, the summer solstice was celebrated with bonfires and fertility rituals. Women danced around the flames, believing that sunlight could bless their wombs and bring new life. These traditions reflect an ancient wisdom that modern science is now confirming. Sunlight is not only a source of physical energy, but also a biological and symbolic trigger for fertility. Fast forward to the present. When daylight saving time begins, the sun stays longer in the sky. Your body produces less melatonin in the afternoon and more serotonin during the day. Energy levels rise, and so does motivation. It's as if nature itself is saying, this is the time to act, to live, to create. Interestingly, research in northern countries like Sweden and Canada shows a significant increase in conception rates during summer months. This results in birth peaks around March and April, exactly 9 months later, indicating that sunlight may directly influence human reproductive behavior. And here comes a fascinating question. Does the human body have a kind of summer mode? The answer seems to be yes. The body operates with a system called the circadian rhythm, an internal biological clock that regulates sleep, appetite, body temperature, and even the release of sex hormones. When we receive more natural light, this clock synchronizes, promoting more balanced hormonal cycles. And when hormones are balanced, everything in the body works better, including fertility. But we must be careful. The same daylight saving time that brings light and vitality can also have the opposite effect if mismanaged. Sudden changes in routine, reduced sleep, and too much artificial light at night can confuse the body and disrupt the circadian cycle. That's because the body needs darkness to release melatonin and maintain hormonal balance. To make the most of this season, we need to respect the body's natural rhythm, get sunlight at the right time, sleep regularly, eat well, and rest. The body's internal clock depends on it. It's fascinating that daylight saving time, a modern invention meant to save electricity, ends up connecting us to something the ancients already knew. Sunlight speaks to our biology. It wakes our cells, regulates our hormones, shifts our mood, and in a way, awakens life itself. The months of greater sunlight are also the months when people feel happier, more social, and more open. It's the season of encounters, travels, and new loves. The sun reconnects us with ourselves and with others. And perhaps that's why, unconsciously, more people start stories and families under its light. Coming back to the idea of twins, there's powerful symbolism there. In many cultures, twins were seen as a sign of extraordinary fertility, two lives born from a single act of creation. If many of those pairs were conceived during times of intense sunlight, that mirrors nature itself at its peak vitality. Life flourishes where there is light. Scientifically speaking, increased sunlight directly influences the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, which controls sex hormones. More light means more hypothalamic activity, stimulating the release of gonadotropins, hormones responsible for ovulation and sperm production. Additionally, vitamin D acts as a modulator of hormone receptors, improving the quality of reproductive cells. The human body responds to nature. When the cycles of light and sleep are in harmony, the reproductive system becomes more efficient. And that leads us to a simple truth. Fertility is a reflection of overall health. When the body is in sync with sunlight, sleep, and natural rhythm, everything improves. Mood, energy, immunity, and the ability to create life. So stop for a moment and think, how's your rhythm today? Do you go to bed on time, get morning sunlight, and take breaks during the day? Or are you always fighting the clock, sleep-deprived, and barely seeing natural light? Your body notices all of it. It responds to light, warmth, the seasons, and your daily habits. And the more we drift away from nature's rhythm, the more our body tries to pull us back. Daylight saving time may be a human invention, but what it awakens in us is deeply biological. When we feel the impact of light, we're feeling the very pulse of life. Fertility, in this sense, is just one of many manifestations of that vital energy. So, next time you move your clock forward and see the sun still shining at 7 p.m., instead of complaining, take a deep breath. Enjoy the light. Feel the warmth on your skin and notice how your body responds. This simple connection with the sun is one of the oldest and most powerful ways to nurture health. Because in the end, life blossoms where there is light, rhythm, and